Hey guys, so I discovered something and at first it seemed really cool and I want to talk about this. It's just like a short video. Maybe someone will get inspired by some of these ideas. I'm gonna show a highlight clip from stream and after that I'm gonna talk about the mechanics, what I tried, because I spent like 5-6 hours messing around in PUB trying to figure out some builds around that, but I didn't really finish anything, don't really have anything concrete. Nothing really came to fruition. So maybe some of you will have some bright ideas, and I feel like this does have a potential. So I'm gonna play a clip now. Wait. No, there's no way. No, don't think that. Oh. No, that would be insane. If all you need was the Heartbound loop ring and following zombies on cast from damage taken. Can I just over summon them? Yes. No way that it works. No way. Okay, so I know what I want to do. Let me just buy a stasis prison. Wait, maybe first I should plan. So essentially, you know, Wardloop builds, they require specific. I'm not even sure if it's possible anymore because we don't have all quality anymore. Actually, is that even possible anymore? So essentially, Wardloop builds require like skeletons to lower their duration to match the cooldown of cast when damage taken, and then using the hardbound loop rings to do damage to themselves to proc something else with cast and damage taken. So each time it would spawn minion, and then it also reads Forbidden Rite on another setup because you don't take enough damage and skeletons themselves cannot really loop themselves. However, with this setup, all you need is raise zombies of falling and hardbound loop, or two of them, and that's pretty much it. However, there are some drawbacks, and the proc rate is not good. The proc rate is around, I think, a bit over 2 procs per second naturally. So I'm gonna just enable this proc rate. As soon as I discovered this, I kind of went and bought Stasis Prison for 20 divines just to mess around with this recoup, just to heal myself and sustain life. And so essentially I have 2 rings because I don't take enough damage with just 1 ring right now. And I have Falling Zombies level 1 in cast when damage taken level 1. And then I just summon like SRS to like initiate the loop. I'm just gonna remove SRS to quickly kill them, and that's it. And now it's looping. Now there are a couple problems. It's actually funny. There was a funny thing where I replaced the helmet, and those falling zombies just kind of resurrected themselves and became a normal zombie. So the proc rate isn't good. It's like around 2.5 procs per second. You can actually add like Blade Vortex to see how many stacks you get, how quickly you get. And that's how I kind of estimated to be a bit over 2 seconds. I will probably put on the screen exact timing because in the recording software I can precisely measure how fast they proc. Now the thing is, these zombies can still die while they are falling. If enemies kill them, it messes up the cooldowns. And it can very easily happen because level 1 zombies have pretty much no health. Oh right, because of Montregal's Grasp. So normally we have 163 health at level 1. And we can die very easily. So I had to add Blessed Rebirth. They still instantly die when we hit the ground. So Blessed Rebirth so that we don't accidentally die at the wrong time. However, you as a player can still take damage and mess up the timing. So for that reason, I feel like you kind of have to also add another minion into this setup that has duration that doesn't die immediately. So like SRS for example. So summon that and summon that, and now I also have SRS. Now this way you should be able to actually, I don't know why they synchronize so perfectly, but in theory once they start dying it should, or you see it sometimes speeds up like 1 or 2 procs. I was trying to figure out how to make it match the cooldown rate of cast when damage taken, And I couldn't really figure out a reliable way to do that. I was trying the Skull's Bridle so that they also do damage because we cost mana, and the Skull's Bridle does a bit of extra damage, so it kind of adds extra steps, extra different sources of damage taken on a loop, but still was not reliable. And I'm curious, maybe some of you can figure out a good approach to this. Like I said, I spent like 5-6 hours planning builds with this and nothing really came to be. So since I couldn't really figure out a proper maximized proc rate setup, I thought about doing just some kind of thing that only requires you to have a loop to proc something. So for example, I could have offerings. First, I'm gonna add Desecrate to one of the cast and damage taken setups, and then high level cast and damage taken. Like I would use high level offerings as well. And with the leash belt and the charm stacking for offering effect on you, you can actually maintain 3 offerings quite easily. Of course, it's also going to be loud because the game effects just spam all the sounds all the time. I do have 12 maximum corpses. That's why we actually proc all 3 at the same time. When I had 10 corpses with the Desecrate and Spell Cascade, we were proccing 2 offerings at the same time, and then another proc was 1 offering, then 2 again, 1 offering. So after I changed that, I added +2 maximum corpses for Desecrate. Now it's proccing all 3 at the same time, but when moving quickly, you can still miss procs. It doesn't always see enough corpses nearby. So I was planning all sorts of weird builds with charm stacking, with the charm stacking for offering effect on you. Because you can just pretty much cap your block rate and get true block rate, 75 true block rate with just bone offering. You can get a lot of crit chance and crit multiplier from spirit offering, and a lot of attack, cast speed and movement speed from flesh offerings. So it's like 60% all speed from offering, like over 300 crit chance, around 80 crit multiplier, and like I said, capped attack and spell block, a true block. But nothing really came to fruition. I was trying to plan a normal zombie, raise zombie of falling, set up with impale, but with the corpse pact. But the thing is, if you use this setup, if you want high level offerings, you want high level cast and damage taken, and that requires you to take a lot of damage. So it's not gonna proc every time you get hit from the Heartbound loops. It's gonna have to cycle multiple times. And again, I think the main question is how do you speed up this proc rate? How do you make it match the cooldown of cast and damage taken? Because if you solve that, you can much easier get corpse back to 200% speed. I was also planning Infernal Blow, but like Infernal Blow with the trauma support, like do damage to yourself and then just throw in Heartbound Loop Ring to spawn Desecrate automatically, and then use the offerings as well automatically and consume corpses that way, and ramp up attack speed that way with the Necromancer's corpse pack. But also it didn't really look good. I end up just removing the loop. And by the way, for this loop you kind of need a lot of sustain but not a lot of physical mitigation, which is a big problem. You want physical mitigation but you don't want physical mitigation, so you kind of need a big life pool and big life sustain like recoup. So Stasis Prison does give a lot of recoup, but you kind of need either Progenesis Flask, I think that's what it's called, or Petrified Blood to take a bit of damage and then the rest damage over time. That way you can sustain your life much easier. That is another problem, like you kind of want to go low life then and reserve things, but then if you want a lot of, like many offerings, maybe even quality with the ashes and the Ella, that was another plan. Was trying to, well, most of them actually were trying to use the Ellas and ashes to push the quality of was this one? Okay, that was for the falling zombies. I was trying to push the quality of offerings as well, so like you could use enhance or empower to boost their level, as well ashes to boost the quality of them, and that increases the effect of offering. The rest of the offering effect, you just get minimum offense mastery, 20% increased effect of offerings, and then charms have up to 30% per charm. And the fourth one is a dual with the charm modifier the same. So you stack those basically, and you do need to be either Necromancer or Scion to be affected by offerings, and then just use Leash of Oblation to be able to be affected by all 3 offerings. And it seems really cool and interesting. Obviously, it would be annoying to hear those sounds, but I couldn't really figure out anything viable enough. So maybe some of you have some interesting build ideas for this and how to increase the proc rate of falling zombies with this setup, with this loop. So let me know in the comments below. I still don't have a next build. I was way too into planning something around this and nothing came to fruition, so I'm a bit stuck right now, so maybe some of you got some ideas. Anyway, thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.